Hello everyone, daughter of Inyanga here, Auntie Tavia here. Thank you for joining me again today. I have some messages from Spirit. Today, like I said, I'm going to be posting regularly on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As of right now, I'm going to put it on Instagram and I'm going to also put it on YouTube so it's shareable outside of the Instagram platform, so that people can share, people can watch it who don't have Instagram, or if you want to share it with somebody else who doesn't have Instagram. Because the reason I make these videos is I want to help as many people and allow them to hear these messages from Spirit it is that we all need right now. So I've been picking up a lot of like collective energy of like anxiousness, like stress, and Spirit showed me the other day, they're like, you need to surrender, which has been the message of the motherfucking season. It's just time to surrender. I'm like, okay, but another fucking reminder, maybe you need to surrender more too. And they were showing me like on this dock, and it's like a small pond, and like the lake is still, and it's like sunrise, and I'm just closing my eyes and I'm putting my arms out and I just submerge myself into the water. And so I said, okay, I understand what that means, but how can I do that more? Like, how can I get to that point? And Spirit was like, well, you need to meditate. And then they shared this with me. So as you know, if you've been here before, Spirit speaks to me through movies, TV shows, songs, memories. So I brought this show up before because it's an amazing show. Whoever created the show, I already told y'all, was fucking woke. Avatar: The Last Airbender. So if you don't want to hear this, I suggest watching the show and then coming back. Or if you don't care, I gave you a spoiler alert. So this is the scene where they're underground in the Earthbending Kingdom. Princess Azula is there. She's trying to capture Aang. Prince Zuko, I think, double crosses them. And Aang and Katara are together. They're trying to fight them. And Sokka and Toph are elsewhere. So they're fighting. They're winning when it's Katara versus Aang and Zuko versus Azula. But then Earthbenders come and they like invade the space. And there's too many of them. And he's like, Aang is looking around and he's like, oh my goodness, I have Katara surrounded. Katara is the love of his life. So he's like, no harm can come to her. And he's like, there's too many, like, we can't fight them all. And then Avatar Roku is in his head and he's like, you have to make a choice. You have to leave her behind if you want to do this. So what does he do? He sits down in the middle of the fight, goes into his avatar state. And everybody's like, what is he doing? Like, they're all like, they're in shock. So the message is, sometimes you just need to sit down and meditate, even when it's not an opportune time or an opportune moment. I'm sure that the Azula and Zuko are like, he's going to leave himself vulnerable. I mean, obviously he's in the avatar state, so he's not vulnerable. But it's one of those things where that tactic strategically was not a good tactic, to sit down in the middle of a fight and literally like start meditating. But it's like, sometimes that's what we need to do. And I heard Spirit is bringing this to my attention. If you're tired of standing and there's a wall, lean on the wall. Lean on that motherfucker. Like, I need to take a break for a minute. So this is not, I'm not saying do that if you're in a physical fight. I'm saying, Spirit is saying that sometimes that's what we need to do. We need to regroup. We need to disconnect in order to reconnect. And sometimes the answers that eluded us because we were looking at it this close, when we step back, we can actually see the bigger picture and we can see options that were not there before. So maybe it's time for you to meditate. Maybe it's time for you to, practice self-care. Take a bath, go for a walk, pet your cat, have a crystal bath. I told my friend this the other day. She's like, girl, I don't have a bath. Honey, I'm not talking about getting in water as a crystal bath. I told her. I was like, you literally lay in your bed and you put crystals on your body. Because my bathtub, half of me would be out if I sat in my bathtub. And if I laid all the way down, then my knees and my boobies would be out. So like, no, I want to relax. So put your crystals all over you. Meditate. Listen to one of my sound healings. Listen to one on YouTube. Listen to a guided meditation. So maybe it's time for you to just sit down, consult your avatars, all your ancestors that have come before you. Because remember, when Aang goes into the avatar state, what does he do? He is connected to every single avatar that has ever come before him. And he has all their knowledge. Woo! I'm getting chills. He has all their knowledge. He has all of their wisdom. And he can access them at any time. It's the same with us. Like I said, our ancestors. Just like if you've seen that show, and when he goes into the avatar state, and all of them are looking at him, and you can see the line of all of the avatars there ever were behind him, we have that same access with our spirit guides and our ancestors. So maybe it's time for you to meditate and go into that avatar state, even if you're fighting a spiritual battle, or if you're overwhelmed, or if you're anxious, or you're stressed out, because that's when we need those things the most. So I hope this message finds you well. And if you haven't seen that show, go watch it. It's amazing. The light in me honors and sees the light in you, and namaste.